mass. Shells, you entered the black light, exited the mass. You entered the black light, exited the mass.
Yo, we back again. If you're throwing in the towel, then you're back in sin. We need the Holy Spirit, please let the chaplain in. Here at the front door, chilling with a childish grin. We can now begin. Now the truth be told, we're riding on the light to let the youth get old. And following the one that will soothe your soul and take your bad situation and improve your role to release your flow. It's a long stretch to loosen all the nooses from the baby's necks. And tell the young ladies they should save the sex. And tell the young guys not to break their neck for the place of sex, but get the paycheck. And real women really don't play that. A wise lesson learned really way back. I used to okay that. The Lord saved me, Jack, from a life of whack. Come on.
Into the black light, exited the mass.
Oh,
you entered the black light, exited the mass. You entered the black light.
You might want to start paying attention on this next verse.
You entered the black light, exited
Give me your attention for a minute. Damn. Come on. We from the same cut, but playing different positions. A top secret message got the president attention. Do what you do, just make the good folk listen. And trust me, yo, it's not about who you're kissing. There is a plan to see you chewed up and shit out. The devil's burning red from the fire that we spit out. We on to get up, the hell with that down low. Cherish the gift of the wisdom that we found, yo. Still on the mission with the daily agenda. Your head's been cloudy, so I doubt you remember that I walk with the king of kings beside me. Just like the root in India, I read. I volunteer, know the Lord didn't hire me. It is the spirit that inspired me. Water of life to show the chief where the fiery. We have no time for those that be acting grimy.
Yeah, I get it.
You see the light now? Boy, I've been talking to y'all for a while. You see, you thought this was for like some type of game. Man, revolution. Yeah. When you free your mind, your ass will follow. That's for real. And some of y'all locked up so bad, don't nobody have to put chains on you. Hell, you chain yourself down mentally, spiritually. Come on, free your mind, dude. You a king. Free your mind, chick, you a queen. Let me get something with some feel to it, some funk to it. Come on. I think I like that. Can we get some heavy drums in there? More like Caribbean, Caribbean. Yeah. Yes, bounce to this. I'm just a black man, title, yo, you give me that. I like them imports, never push the Cadillac. And would you figure, Mr. Man, while you're kicking back with sick plans to get you stacked, making chickens fat? You know you into that, chilling with your timber cat. Intoxicated to the point, past sinful acts. Be very nimble, Jack, or Jill will get a water back. And have your heart broke just like a heart attack. Look where your power at, no, not the idle cats. It's deeper than tats and hurricanes and old maps. The spirit flows, so my folks throw that. Meant for the wise as well as the spoiled rats. So you can fold up or either you can fold back. I hold no judgment over those that are chose crack. Terror over habit that has been proven to hold back. With God on your side, you can get your soul back. Yeah, we need some 3 parts on this, man. So, I can't carry my boys at chorus. Come on, line up. Yo, I need y'all 3-part harmony on this. I don't know how you can work it out, but work it out. Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man that gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man that gain the world and lose his soul? Into the room, you feel a certain doom. You might lose your hearing from the sonic boom. Out of the mouth is a sword and I'm taking you out. You try to stop me and I'm faking you out. Man, I wish I had an apprentice to build this work. Collaborate on synthesis. And I hope you remember this. Keep your enemy near to you. Far away, keep those that are dear to you. I hate beer, but I used to drink the brew heavily until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week, intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak. So do the knowledge, that means hold your head, let the past stay dead, and keep a level head, and don't be misled. Remember most of what I said, I'm hot like times in a rock, but you gotta stop from working on your song.
By the end of the night, how deep this music is. When does it rob the man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What does it rob the man to gain the world and lose his soul?
Mike's handed, I'm speaking candid. Understand this is the way that the masses demand it. I have wisdom, but God planned it. General media bandit. I blow flows on beaches and make you wonder where the sand went. The Taliban spent more times in design to destroy cities. My rhymes inspire minds. I'm known as Big Papa, but I ain't your daddy yet. But I could be your bro if you could get the concept. There be many that stand whenever I rip, but it's devastation whenever I rip. I spit flows that hit like mouth on tits, straight legit. You fake rappers need to understand that felonies, gunfights and drugs don't make a true MC. And I will do more than talk this talk. I will defiantly walk this walk. There's no need to spaz. Your nose bleeding while I'm beating your ass. You in the cesspool.
Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What does it rob the man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What does it rob?
Ancient Chinese secret now. Yes. Did you not pay attention in your history class, partner? Wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up, son. It is written that there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. And that the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So take your position. Don't you know you are part of that scripture, yo? Yo, you've been getting in the way and what you knock you down. Yes, but we gon' bring the light, yeah. A Max B production, baby. You know what it is. Listen, I'm known to tell you to fight back. There's no need to sell crack just to live fat. Why don't black superstars simply give back when they know it's a struggle just to live black? Can you picture that, Mr. Aristocrat? I'm coming from the bottom, rising to the top, and conscious is the tone on the CDs I drop. I won't flip-flop like a black bass, but I will put a message in the song before I hook your ass. See, we first class living, worse than slaves of the earlier days, and we adapted the ways of the slave master. I stand upon it, the very rock which put your people in bondage just to get 100. The big face kind, and it don't matter if it's making people lose their freaking mind. That's why I'm speaking mine, hopefully to change yours, to pull you out of these streets from these drugs and strange whores. Huh.
Does anybody care? Is there love out there? Does anybody care? Is there love out there?
It's like we died inside, no longer having pride. We're still for rides, a new skill to hide. And like the red tide, go and get our heads dyed. Rebel against the laws in the cities we reside. Sleep the circumstance, though our eyes open wide. Fail to coexist, let alone coincide. Eat chicken many ways, but prefer it fried. Like your man on death row when his relatives cried. It's death a mistake because somebody lied. And we can only pray that Christ is by his side. Convicted on the statement implied with no proof. Now will the warden cry that he killed another youth? I truly doubt it, that's why we stay in the booth. Just cause it ain't enough, we should demand and show proof. And if they overlook our voices, then we raise the roof. Which one of y'all do?
Does anybody care? Is there love out there? Does anybody care? Is there love out there?
and hopefully you treat your people like being that I feel like I'm a slave, maybe slave. Yo, man, you made a serious mistake, babe. With how you handle me, homie. Slave to the system. Yeah, sound like a winner right there. Come on, come on. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. Hold up a minute, fam, let me ask you this. Did your last promotion offer you an ass to kiss? Hashtag for this. I know a better way in many, honestly. Wonder why you bastard shit. Your heart's got to be right to make it from here. For animosity and hate, you can place it here. No time for pity. We partying all the way. No time to be the victim. We got a call to take. Keep it square and watch God fall the fake. A linebacker reads well before they call the play. Hoping you always say, hoping we always pray. Invest a little bit of time in the taller day. Forget the ball and play. We got stakes in Israel with much more beef than the Shaw can say. Now that's the scholar's way. No lust for the cause of throwbacks. In fact, give them all away. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. Inside my circles are deep bows and little Urkels, and need no brown types with no remorse. If they hurt you, many out to take you. Plotting schemes for your paycheck. And no, I'm not a snitch just because I come and say that. Look, dude, I don't play that. When my boy G-Lo was killed, you know you saw me on the news. If you choose to look way back, so stay back. I'm militant like Osama, intelligent like Obama. And you can ask your mama, no need to wonder. I'm like the 10th one under the commission of the author of life. When I was younger, I would do what a thug would tend to do. And if you got the last lick, quickly remember you. A lot's changed, but still things remain the same. Slave masters got these brothers' brains and chains. Yo, I'm feeling your pain. Down and out in life, saying your prayers, but not seeing the change. We in the sin age. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be rich, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be rich, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be rich, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be rich, I wanna see my folk free.
Yes, sir. You kids is having a ball. That's what I like to see. Slave to the system. Then I feel free. Yo, what's cracking? What's going on, man? Yeah, man, excuse me, y'all. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get it going here in a minute. I had to check my Manuka honey. Now, I don't like nothing from Lucerne, but the only Manuka honey they had was from Lucerne, by way of New Zealand. Many people know that there was a thing going on with New Zealand where they were saying that it was recalled because there was contaminants, because they were using a methyl like glycerin, whatever it's called, that they may have been utilizing to the honey, the cleanse with something. You see, raw honey is supposed to be just raw. Just gather it up. It might have bee parts depending on how you're collecting it. Shouldn't have bee parts, but it just comes par with the course. And the raw honey I get from over here is like the best, because it's right there. They don't clip the queen bees wings like a lot of these people that want to get rich and make money. They don't care about if the bees are pollinating and poisonous plants, because even if you might have certain plants, blossom like plants, right? You might have something that is toxic that might not harm the bees, and if they take it back to produce honey and with the larvae and everything like that, it gets in there, and that stuff could be detrimental. So I've had it for about 4 months, 5 months. Now, honey, breaks down for a while, but when it's raw, it's raw. And this Manuka honey is absolutely fabulous. Now, I do my best to stay away from any kind of sugar, but raw honey is not really a sugar. You got to look at the difference between glucose and, you know what I mean? There's processed and then there's real. You know, there's this little thing going on where people are starting to realize, and I've said it for a long time, all the heart conditions, all the cancers, and this is not medical advice. This is just what you can research. That with these companies and the Heart Association and everything like this, certain medical industries and corporations have been paying these idiots. This is what bothers me about this land and a lot of light skins, and then now a lot of melanated people too. In order to have a quality of life, and this is sad, instead of people coming together and rising up as one and saying no more, the government is not your leaders. We don't have that because people have been paying attention to the programming, the music, and everything else, and they can't get beyond coming together and putting away all their little goofy differences. And I know there's been pain and harm, and people should have to pay for it. And those people alone, the ones who manipulate it. But the problem is you never see the ones manipulated. You have the little echelons who have been grafted in not to know no better. So they're coming to find out. Like I said, I know people who ate. We can adapt to anything, even though we shouldn't be eating meat, but who ate hog head cheese, chitlins and hog mogs and steaks and potatoes without vegetables, over 90, 100 years old. It's the chemicals, it's these medicines, because there's an article I'm going to read later on, not right now, where these individuals who wanted to lose weight, I mean, they were having a hard way to go because it was hard for them to stop eating ice cream at night. You know, like wake up at like 12 o'clock, they're hungry, and oh, you know what? It's milk, peanut butter, and chocolate. It's not cocoa. It's not natural peanut butter as we made. And the ice cream's got more chemicals in it more now these days, even Ben & Jerry's, as much as they try to say they're raw, but you know who the background is. They might be decent, but when you look at BHT and all that kind of stuff, and even the folic acid they use today, it should not even be added. But because, you know, even the food pyramid, which came out a little over a year ago, was a few years ago, about the woman who created the first one, that was based on a healthy diet without processed food. And you saw with the USDA, they changed it. And the FDA, they changed it because they want you sick. Because them Gujars it's not about profit. It's about manipulation. It's about seeing how they can get rid of you, keep you from your closer truth of existence in the sentient. So everything with the heart, cholesterol, and diabetes is all because of what they've been doing, poisoning the food, destroying natural herbs and things like that. The pesticides they created, they knew right off the bat, and it's a written document, you can pull it up, about glyphosate and all those other things and attributes that what it would do, not only to the earth, but to you, to your pets, to your children playing in the yard, and made to believe it was safe when they knew from the test that it wasn't. But money get the idiots in positions that should never be in. Just like right now, you look at some of these fake laws they're writing in, because this is not your government. But because you have increments, you have these rebel rousers, like that's all that melanated cop that got beat up because they were moving in the crowd. Why would you want to beat on the protesters when the whole system is what creates the protesters? See, this is the narcissistic behavior of these people going to train with the IDF. Why the IDF ain't training over here? Are we supposed to have the best police department? See, this shows you we have incumbents and idiots. So again, they're proving, and you know it too, that they have created poisons and toxins. And most countries are getting away from all this. And it was meant to happen this way because the very ones that created it are telling other countries' leaders, okay, you can stop using that. You can stop. We're going to keep going because, you know, this is the old world and we got to do what we're doing and we're on a roll here. And because you got idiots, like I was watching this little video. I'm going to get back to the thing about this medicine. I was watching this little video about this little Spanish girl, barely speak English, in LA. LA, y'all getting a big L, man. I commented on Brick Baby says something to China Max in Kenya. China Max doing this thing. He was the only one that went to help Crip Mac. And Crip Mac, because of his paranoia, the fact that he's got some mental conditions, all right? I mean, look at his so-called father. I mean, his baby mama, I think she's a wonderful person. But you look at all these little goofy retards, man. And then what is they doing with this Adam 22, these fake Gujars? Vlad, You know, I wish they would talk rough to me because I take them in the ring, man. And I'm one, you know, y'all know I'm a bang. Like, I'm really, you know what I mean? But I'm tired of these guys to go to prison. You know, my father and people in my family were always locked up. I used to have to go and visit them all the time. I was about killed about 6 years of my life as a baby. I'm getting tired of these fake little wanksters, man. That Hollywood, you know, NWA and all the music and everything propped up and the little drive-by shootings which we had, because when they were talking about they were the deadliest, Delaware and North New Jersey and Brooklyn and Spanish Harlem was like, come on, man. And St. Louis was worse than them, and they still don't get it. And they have this little friggin' Arab woman to call herself Mexican, cussing a brother out who's really about their life, because I know who's on the side of the camera, and a little guy because of cartels. We don't care about that. See, there are those who play in that field, and they have to give respect. I respect all walks of life, but I'm a little different. All right? We move really in the shadows, bro. And I ain't talking about all out want to harm your mommies and your babies and all that old goofy stuff. We got to get high and drugged up. What I'm saying is, if everybody would stop being stupid for a moment and come around, but you have influence from a different plane. I don't mean up, like a different plane, who need this to happen, who control the narrative, but people too stupid to get together because pain and suffering and chaos is what culminates this stuff. Same thing with medicine field. People starting to realize that doctors, there's a lot of them out there that shouldn't be doctors. Like you got a lot of people who are in the police department who shouldn't be in the police department. You know it's good, guys. I've always got to say that there's doctors who are decent. But you got to be careful, because just like the Mossad could come in right next door to your house on this soil because they think they got it like that. And they're a small number, and put bombs and stuff, and while you're doing something and blow your house up, and who's going to run around and say who it was? This is what I'm talking about. Y'all refuse to come together. Y'all continue to look at these idiots carrying on, and when I say idiots, these people who don't know nothing, with dementia, they don't even know they're walking around. They think they're functioning high level. Just get the bag, and then you got to see what they're doing to get the bag. Like the bag is worthless. What would be more? To be put away your little effeminate emotional feelings, right? And then start growing your stuff. There are some of us who still have seeds that are unadulterated. Not just heirloom. Heirloom's a little change too. And this is what I'm talking about. People don't want to get it together. I don't see nobody in South America coming up here who know our truth going, yo, brothers, I got some seeds for y'all, man. This is really hitting me hard. I don't like what's going on. I don't see not one. So here it is. Because of what we've done, civil rights, this, that, and everything that we have done, everybody's benefiting, but they're too ignorant and too dumb because of these fake preachers and these fake teachers and these fake professors and these fake government agents, because Republicans and Democrats are one and the same. Now, I don't agree with the dude burning himself up, but he was definitely hitting it right on the nail on the head. But sometimes it takes extremism. But burning yourself up, that's 2 hands and 2 feet and the brain gone, bro. Nah. I finally seen where some light skins, pale skins, you call yourselves white, you're not. I'm starting to say, wait a minute. Well, how can I actually got a video? I'm not gonna put it up. He says, how can I be so stupid and realize after all these years professing to be a Christian, talking about Jesus, not really listening to the brothers because of that fake white superiority? But then he started realizing that everything we know, he talks about what we invented, this, that, and other. He goes, wait a minute, them ain't Jews. Those are fakes. And he says in the video, dag nugget, do I got that bloodline in me? He was pissed off. And it was the license behind him. They was really pissed. They were like, man, it's like, how do you have a revelation so late in life? Right now you have, documentaries talking about which called Boga, the guy locked up who was strong as 5 men, created the Aryan nation, so-called, that don't even know the Aryans were melanated people. I'm so tired of religion and all these fake identities. Caucasians were melanated, dark people. And they take these things and run with it because you need to look at the person's background. But they don't talk about that brother in Georgia who was as strong as who could pick up a truck. They don't talk about that other brother in Pelican Bay who they had to keep in isolation because he would crush a person with one hand. They don't tell that story because they need to keep division. They don't want to keep we just had this every year we got brothers and sisters crushing the which cards, the the tests, Florida, New York, California, everywhere. Nobody wants to see that because you got these platforms with this Vlad punk and this Adam 22 punk. All right? and other ones just like him. You know, only one I really like is white underbelly. I like watching him. But all these other ones, they're getting caught up in the riff of things they ain't supposed to be involved with. And you look at the brothers and sisters going to them, the interviews, how do they get the platform? Who made them? You see what I'm saying? But you got this little world with these dummies running around with the fake, in California, blacks and Latinos. First of all, blacks is not a people for you ignorant amateurs. And Latinos, if you're calling that yourself that's as bad as calling themselves black when y'all got really more African blood than any melanated person here, except for those who coming off the boat. Facts. And then if you know DNA and you know science, you would also know that the bloodline they say is African American, which is not African at all, is how they want to usurp and further pervert the truth of the land because of the ignorance of many. I wish I'd stop being so damn dumb. But anyway, back to what I was saying. As you know, with sugars and everything like that, processed. Remember I was telling you all about beet sugar? It's not natural. It's processed. It's how they make it is crazy. You can look it up. That is not meant to go in your body. So Manuka honey, there's a belief that there's a certain chemical. It's 2-methyl, whatever it's called. There's 2. There's the one that they use to do whatever, and then there's the one that's naturally occurring. That's the one that they say is an antivirus, a strong killer. But the fact of it is, we only put it in because we crave sweets because of what was done with beet sugars and corn solids and high fructose corn syrup, which with other metals and chemicals makes your brain crave instead of the natural form of endomorphins and releases. So honey is really best topical, not really internal. There is benefits though, you know, putting it under your eyes, you know what I'm saying, behind your ear. Manuka is great. New Zealand really had some of the best, even the honey that was made in Japan at one time. And the honey that we had in Florida, Georgia, and even in Texas in that warm heat, you'd be surprised at animals' resilience to gather water and what comes out of that, the phytosterols and everything like that. But regardless of that, and the plants that they harvest from. But regardless of that, honey is best topical. But they have been processing stuff for so long and adding stuff. And it's like I said, it's been a one big experiment and we were never meant to play a part. And in order for them to have us play a part, which they had to stop, they had to get Martin Luther King and all them dumb Masonic monkeys, fake preachers, telling a lie without knowing the truth of so-called Yeshua or Jesus, whatever you want to call it, and King David and the wives and the daughters and the sisters in Europe. Algonquin. But that's a whole nother thing. We're not here for that. Okay? So what I see is a product of the enemy's narrative and the grandiose of the puppetry work. It's not about symmetry, people. It's about y'all being perverted. And not being and running around in dementia and not seeing it for what it is. Let me have a sip of it. It was too hot, y'all. My apologies. And y'all know hot don't bother me, but it was just boiling. I mean, bubbling, like it touched something, the stuff popped. And see, I didn't put a lot. So it's not that it's so sweet, but with the cinnamon, the cyan cinnamon. Have this in the AM, bro. Let me listen here. Oh man! So what you saw me carrying in my hand with this, the PDF, the PFAS is on top. This is pineapple, and you know they said, how about had it with these people doing this stuff? Pineapples are real. They go back to ancient times. Now they look different now. And goji berries. So what's going to be happening? They're going to sit like that for about 4 or 5 hours. The goji berries reheat, and there's lime, a little kiwi juice, and distilled water, and a couple of mineral hydrogen peroxide, the kind you could take. It's a cellular. There's 3 drops of that in there. So I had to put lid on it so it can reconstitute. And then in about 4 or 5 hours, I'll drink that. Well, I'm not going to consume anything until about 2 o'clock. Because I want to come on before that and read. I want to occupy myself. I'm not going out to shoot. I got some rifles to clean again. And you know what I'm saying? I'm also going to read a little bit from the Book of Wisdom. And then we'll come back and we're going to get into the Negro Project. When I read 100 Years of Lynching, I don't want y'all to get, I want you to, I'm reading it to you so that way you can put your feelings away, the fake ones. And you can get in touch with, I don't want you to be all logistically logical. I don't want you to look at it and misinterpret it, because we have a lot of pale skins running around, and this is by the government, thinking they can say, and racism. Oh, shut up. Racism still exists, and it's as strong as ever because of y'all stupid. That's why light-skinned people, my brothers, y'all are stupid. Y'all see a comment from this little youngin'. I just laughed at it. I was like, I asked him, is your Down syndrome acting up? You can't troll me, man. Like, I don't even like using the term troll because that doesn't mean what people think. To be called a troll is not significantly wonderful because they made a movie with this idiot playing Frankenstein with the trolls or the gargoyles or the good man. Please, no, it's worse. So if you want people to give you that energy thinking it's something beneficial and you think that you're being funny because it was on South Park, you're pretty exactly what I've been expressing. Now, things I want to say, I'm not going to say on here because then, it alludes to an act of violence or something like that. Me saying to cause you to go out and harm yourself, I would never do that. Now, I don't have to say it on here either. So, good information. Whatever your will is, may you contextually follow it through. But don't waste your time here. And how do they say it? I qualify that. Now, getting back into what I was saying, because this stuff is funny. We have this world of this perpetual stupor, and you can change the narrative. And some people will be like, well, how do I change? Well, you don't change by asking yourself that. You change. You look at what is going on. You should know what shouldn't be, and then you stop. That's what you do. And my daughter was talking about, you wasn't in my life. I hid you from me. Like I hid you from me. Everybody, my fake knuckleheads and relatives, it's not with hate. But I speak with truth. Not saying, yo, we're going to fly you, or Jim, I'm going to meet my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And see, this is the unstableness. This is what you women do. Now, by the fake-ass court system, I was supposed to have contact with my children, but every time I'm attempting to find them, we have people who have a family, right? That's broken, cheating, going away for years, coming back, getting high, bringing more babies in, making them as perverted. And I'm sitting there going, no, I can't be around that. Because money, that don't mean nothing, y'all. Families don't mean nothing. This is why I say what I say. But also because they knew, we can't be out of it. He's dark. You know what I'm saying? Well, the worst thing to do is say nothing. So they had to lose a few. Yes, my family. They had to lose a few. And instead of reaching out and saying something, they got quiet. Well, they should have been quiet, not saying nothing and being stupid in the first place. Oh, I'm an equal opportunist. Don't get it twisted, y'all. See, this is why they keep making a mistake. They keep believing, oh, well, he said 2 weeks, nothing happened. They're not paying attention to what and who it happened to. See, they keep thinking this is a game. And that's why I'm able to do what I'm doing. I'm attempting to bring some balance and get some of y'all out of delusion. And you're having this hard time because y'all think everything hypothetically and you're intelligent. No, you're not even existing as who you're supposed to be. So how can I consider you intelligent? We have some people realizing parlor tricks, not realizing the time of the season. Not only goes in the fall, but going into summer, during spring, you have the same thing that happens between the earth and the energy around you with certain clothes of wool and synthetics that create this magnetism. So there's certain plastics out there that are always plastic, but of paper too. And so what happens is you get this magnetism that is only because of your body's natural, but it is steeped in what you're putting in and what you speak. So there is a plausibility, but that is at the lowest and weakest level. Now, when you could take 3 rocks, stack them up for 5 years and magnetize them, then you come and talk to me. When you can make dirt start rising around your feet and people get scared and run by you, then you come talk to me. It's not a game. I always say you lead by example. The most beautiful examples I've had was the staunchness of Westside. The relegation of ganja to exude itself for better interpretation of self. The stance of trauma, Hawk. Now, y'all listening. That's 3 out of thousands, and I need to meet more. Because, see, those are viable twos. And I will speak as a duly elected long time ago. And y'all think it's a game. Kids was out there watching me sun gaze, and that's just, the sun is so close, it's too bright. And I'm staring right at it for like, this is not bragging, this is showing. And my eyes started watering, and I was like, oh, this cleansing is beautiful. And when I looked down, everything was like in a dark room, but photostat like red, blue, green. And it was the colors that I always look for. Then I did my 35-35. I didn't cover as usual. I didn't put cold because I want the retinas. It's like doing a natural LASIK. And besides what it does for the pineal and what it does for the body. Because right now you have this thing called, and what the sun part, does it play in it? Well, they're spraying. And so it's not like they don't know what they're doing. So they have this thing called immune responses to COVID-19 MR. This is National Institute of Health, NIH.gov. Immune responses to COVID-19 mRNA vaccines in patients with solid tumors on active immunosuppressive cancer therapy is considered turbo cancer. There's no such thing, but now it exists. Future look how COVID-19 vaccines are accelerating new cancer treatment. How is that so? Now you got to pull this stuff up. So you can go to Cancer Research Institute, Vaccine Research Hub, and you got to see the wordology and the games they're playing. Something that didn't exist, like Eazy-E, getting cancer without being a homo. I mean, AIDS is a form of cancer for those who are ignorant to the fact, and dying of it in less than a week. I mean, however long it took. I read about. I got an article. I forget because so many other people have perish from it. It should not have. Cancer should not be killing anybody, but because people won't change their diets, they won't look at other things, and because of the system of food and medicine now would only accelerate things in people's ignorance to that fact. Unless, and that's pretty sad, unless you looked at like something else. I can't get AIDS. I can't get it. So what some people will sit there and they'll say turbo cancer is not a thing. But if you're going to listen to an epidemiologist or whatever you want to call them, epidemiologist, something I was reading, that's not the one. That's not a specialist. Well, they say they are. Yeah, just like the USDA is letting all this Fruit Loops and all that cancer causing and FD yellow and red, they're saying just because they say, oh, it's allowable, doesn't mean that it's safe for consumption. See, There's two misinterpretations, and that's what they play based on the Rockefeller Foundation and everything else as far as what they've been doing, these fake Gujars, and where we're at now, and the reason that light skins are a problem, and ergo they're their own problem, not knowing because they've been raised in ignorance. Somebody was sitting there talking about we're red. You always talk this stuff, but the Native Americans, shut up. That's all I said to him. I had to write it, cap letters, shut up. I had to think it because I want him to process it. Arab and Ket people played actors. They were little boy lovers, pedophiles. Every one of them that was with the circus doing the World's Fair. That's right, Native American. Every one of your great grandpappies. All right? One on this land. The history's there. Go and pull it up. 1893 to 1904 and beyond. You won't hear no Bering Strait. Nobody in a certain tribe in New York's going to say otherwise because I know more than him. Me and Telly on Yoko, they used to talk about it. He's like, you know what? But some people ain't going to get it, Red. You know things that he says. I question him because I didn't know you knew J1 you knew John, Mr. Langley. I says I know you, cousin. I was one of the last ones besides his beautiful ex-wife and his daughters and them to speak to him. I still keep his chat before he passed, and I'm not going to say why and how. And if you don't know, if you know the people didn't do it. Chief Darian Two Bears Ross. Darian Chief Two Bears Ross. He has some of the longest friggin' name. But anyway, I always just call him Chief. Or I call him Cuz or my brother. You know what I'm saying? My big brother. My big little brother, for those who don't get it. We say Baba. It's however you want to interpret it. And listen. I'm not saying it to hurt people's feelings. And that's the first thing. That's how they manipulate everybody instead of being intelligent and looking at it. But there are plenty of so-called Native Americans. There are plenty of people who know the truth. We don't have to always go to our beloved brother, our beloved Dagonatini or Anaki or Agadohi, however you want to say it, or Akim, Kiramil. There's many who know. And Kiramil is like, I would say he's like the head of the storm, and that's a beautiful thing. Yukhade. That's what it means, beautiful. And yet, people won't see it. Like the people running around amped and all this other stuff, and they really don't know what they're saying. They're misinterpretations, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong. We can create our own language. It was done to you. Native Americans, I don't care. I speak loud. I will dare somebody to challenge me on it. I don't give a damn about how you feel. When my grandpa died in the war, so what? To go take that up with your governments and the other governments and the people that killed him. Why was he there? What was his reason for going? Was he drafted? I don't want to hear that. Every one of my family members has been in the military, including me. Because of who he was, they was like, wait a minute. And they realized what things I said, and they listened to me, and it's like, we got to get him out of here. Because I would sway and change their minds. I was one of the original people taking break dancing and hip hop around the world. I was sitting in Turkey listening to hip hop. We had the little portable, remember the little Walkmans and everything. I had the little yellow one, the waterproof one. And we're sitting there with the little boom box we bought at the little bazaar, they're emulating the BCA, and we're jamming, and we rocking, and, you know what I'm saying? At first they wanted us to go out there in our whites. So we had to walk around like that, like big targets. Thank goodness nobody was cut here, tattoos and everything that will later come on because of dumb light skins and goopy want to be something, melanated people around the world, too stupid to get it. Because this is the old world. It doesn't matter what, this is Asia Superior. I don't care what nobody thinks. But they need the children to know different so that way they argue and fight against the ancestors and never really hold the ancestors with them. That's another way to cut without doing heavy metals, chemicals. So when I'm taking this stuff around the world with some homies from Philly, you got to remember my bunkmate was Spider D. Look, I'm serious. Back in the 1300s, we was all the way in the back. I was the first one to put the murals, the stockless anchor, the A6 intruder, and the carrier was 68. I grafted those up during my service week. A whole week, I grafted all those up. The same tactics I used in Nishawane School and middle school and elementary when I was with Miss Viscals in art school. You see my paintings? I grafted all 3 of those up. And it kept going for however long. For any of y'all went to drill hall 1300, drill hall 1300, whatever, 300, whatever, and great mistakes, all the way in the back, right? My name used to be on the right little corner. Kid Wiz, Airman Recruit. This is real. My grandma, I don't know if my aunt still has the pictures. My grandma had pictures. She came with my great-grandmother, Bettina Lee, and my brother Dwight. During my graduation, we had to stand 3 hours in parade rest for pass and review. 3 hours in parade rest. We still did the old course, y'all. We had to run 3 miles. We wasn't doing no mile and a half. We had to walk and carry them M1s, man. Listen, now, thank goodness I was a strong mofo. And yet, I never allowed ego to take me to a place and put myself on some pedestal. I'm actually commenting with people on Instagram, part of the 80s hip-hop, who remember me going, oh, is that Jay Wiz? I'm like, yeah, man, it's Khalif. Yeah. You remember y'all have all the names, y'all beautiful flowery names y'all gave me. Dude! And I was like, we ain't know you was alive. Dude, I was in New York. I left Bronx about 18 years ago, bro. Something like that. And got married again, It's like, dude, you still a guard? Well, yes, right. You're always going to be a guardian angel. So how'd the Gotti trials go with Curtis? I want you to go ask Curtis. That's about, got to the time I had a few more patrols because Neptune Beach Parade, the Bloods and the Latin Kings, we arrested so many of them, they were fighting like, and after that, it was like, life had to go another direction. But I like sharing my life story. I call it a lie story because we live in a time of lies, and regardless of what's going on in your story. And I think it's a beautiful thing. There are a lot of things going on, and there are those who are willing to tell the truth, and there are those who are not willing to accept the truth. Can you blame them? How do you get grafted? See, I'm not attempting to beat people up verbally. I'm saying the majority of the world has accepted the lie they live. And there are those who walk around saying, man, just be the best in the life you're in. Those are the people you should steer clear from. Now, do they have good intentions? I would say yes. Yet there are those who would sit there saying, like Lil Uzi Vert with the purse running like a little queen. Right? Wasn't he gangster something? And then he's wearing this goopy red stuff and red dye in his hair. People just don't get it. What's happened. And it's not all right. That is not hip hop. That is not who we are. And the system has become so perverse that the very people, and there's a lot of them in LA and New York, who are saying, oh, just let them be. They're still eating White Castles. They're getting all that GMO soy and everything else. And they doing a whole lot of things that man ain't supposed to do, but men's are doing. It's beyond worse than DL. And they all look like, when you look at, and I'll be reading them, I says, oh man, be quiet. Nobody want to hear what you got to say. Nobody want to hear that, man. Nobody wants to hear it. Because see, those are the people who don't know the past. They're stuck in the moment. So they're going to repeat and repeat. And they're going to break the children down along with this perverted system. Don't nobody tell us who we are and how we should call and what we should and how we shouldn't. Nobody's going to tell us a dang thing when you know who you are. But the problem is you still have these retards running around pushing narratives that should never be pushed. instead of coming together and being the brothers. I don't care, about the parents, because listen, genetic stuff was going on in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They were manipulating a lot of light-skinned babies, man. They had thousands and thousands that didn't survive, and they had hundreds of thousands, if not millions, that did. Okay, so when you see a person and his wife is brushing his back because he's got a shag rug, in old vans and everything, Dodge vans and the hot rods, some shag carpet on his back, you've been manipulated. And you're growing a tail, you've been manipulated. You've had things done to you that you know nothing about. Animal DNA spliced into, and they've been doing it for well over a couple of centuries now. There's nothing new. And most people have a hard time accepting, because why? It's not on the television. It's not part of the program or channels or any channeling. And when somebody puts it in a book, it's conspiratory. By that, I'm just saying. And it's nobody's fault. It's not yours or ours. It belongs to those who have done it. And most of them are in obscurity. They're in the hidden places. It's happened to our people. I got a medical book of freaks and this, that, and other, and melanated people in there with tells too, so please. And you know what the ignorant, the so-called religious also say? Well, that's because sleeping with Esau, and they don't even know who Esau is. Just opening their mouths based on what somebody scribed without actually going to the literature, doing the work, traveling the world, sitting with people who are willing to talk to you truthfully and honestly, and extrapolating on it. I've sat with many rabbis who know exactly who we are because I knew who I was, and they would not sit there and say otherwise. Then I know those perversions, those Zionists who like a costume, like Spirit Halloween store. Now, most can't see the difference. Because, see, their youngs have been reared and nurtured and put in the secret rooms without cameras and everything and told they can do this and they can do that. But you start to realize these things are true when you see the IDF and how they deal with the children who have not done nothing. These are sick things. That is not a true Judean. That is not who we are. It never has been, and it never will be. And they show it. And this reason why, well, you have that sociopath called Netanyahu, just like you do this fake Biden. And I can't say nothing about Trump. I don't want to. There's a roadmap and there's a game. But most people think they're playing chess when they're really playing Jumanji. And some are teetering on Jenga. And then there's an old game we used to play called Pick Up Stones or Pick Up Sticks. Everybody's playing a game, and no one knows who's going to win except those who got everybody playing the damn game. It's when you stop playing the game, you put away the chess, the boards, you put away the stones, sticks, the pawns, the kings, the rooks, the knights, all that. And when you put the wood pieces back in place and let it stand firm. And you take the rocks from the board and you throw them back on the ground where they belong. And you stop playing the games is when you start seeing things for what they are. And when people start to come together. When you put away all this fake crayon stuff, you study history and you listen to those of us who actually know something. When you realize that you've been usurped into something that should have never existed. And that the folly of creating this with people whose minds are not of their own, you're going to have melanated people who want to sleep with light skins. You're going to have light skinned people who want to sleep with melanated. It's been since the time of history, not in the beginning, but since this fake reset. And it shouldn't matter. The problem is, because of the game y'all playing, it matters, and therefore the perversions come out to which those who create the chessboard games, the Monopoly games, the Scrabble games, Trouble, Pop-O-Matic, and everything else games, Hangman games. There's the reason why y'all keep staying in the formation that you're in and moving the way you do. And until you stop playing them damn games and see things, you're always going to get a few people who's going to extrapolate on these things instead of you being able to see it for yourself and say, oh, no more games. But you don't have to be boisterous. You don't have to be all loud all over the place. If there's people out there that believe, remember, belief is not the foundation of truth. This is a facsimile. It's another symptom. But if this would believe the earth is round, they'll say, well, you believe the earth is flat. No, I know the earth is flat. You're the one in a belief structure. You need to believe the earth is flat. That's why you want me to prove it to you. I'm not here to prove nothing to you. I'm all right where you at. I'm all right right where you, I'm all right where you being where you're at. If you want me to be clarity, because I know if I say just a few words, you'll be like, oh, your grammar. You know, shut up. I'm all right where you at. Okay, that's all I meant to say it. I'm not here to prove nothing to you. I'm not going to argue the case. I don't debate people who don't know what debate really means. Necessarily what the truth of it or what it alludes to, the fact of it. So many different ways you could say it, right? Some of y'all need to get, do I have that down here? Yeah, some of you need to get this. Now, I'm tempted to get on Joe Rogan to sponsor me. I've got a few people. I actually shot down a couple of sponsors, y'all. I know y'all like, Red, but no. I shot down some sponsors. I know I'd have been getting a couple of extra grand a month, and I was like, I couldn't support it after I've learned what I learned. Alpha Brain. Now, I haven't taken it. I have not taken this. I purchased it, and I've given a few out. And the people were like, yo, and they're like, whoa, Red. And I'm like, well, they're like, well, if you're not taking, let me count how many more I have left. These are cancer causing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So I gave away 2. And that was to the same, I can't say who they are. And they were like, they was outside. I was like, y'all ain't never outside. They was like, bro. He was on his computer, the window up. I was like, what the heck? So Alpha Brand, I guess it works. And they have a newer one. Will I try it? I don't need it. I got it for free. When it first, yeah, that's, and I keep it in the fridge. It's fine. Mushrooms and stuff. It's my mushrooms. Let me stir this up because you know that cyan cinnamon is a summer bomb. It look, it makes like, for those of you don't clean your toilets when y'all eating them burritos, having that Mexican blowout, and you know what I'm talking about, bus stop type or truck stop type thing. And do you know how it feels when you don't eat meat? Last 3 nights, I didn't get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, no, the night before I did 3 because I went to bed early. I went to slumber early and go and urinate. I was waking up. Now, if I drank 2 glasses of wine, bro, I'm waking up about 2 or 3. Listen, man, and I'm going to that bathroom and I'm blowing the back of the toilet. You think I got the 4-inch holes, the nozzle, the fall. And I'm like, what's going on, man? And then I'm getting cramps. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I can't really be drinking this alcohol. Even though I will always have my organic wine. I don't give a smack. But now if I have one of them Miller Genuine draft beers, I just needs to slip in the bathroom, by the toilet, with a catheter into the, because it's just no way of turning it off. And people say, that's old age. You know, your body, when you're doing the right thing, it changes. You are removing the manipulation and you're resetting. So what happens is these things are changing out here. And nobody's aware because you're not at the processing plant, the vats and everything else, where everything, the yeast and this, that, and all that's happening. So they're adding different things. So your body, when you start cleansing it, it reacts totally different. It goes, hey, boy, hey, girl, boy, what you doing? What you putting back in me now? No, we don't move. That's not the same stuff. And so, yeah, I see my brother over there, and guys, I'm gonna tell you, when we go to chat, whoever, right? Hey, have a beer. Y'all go ahead, man. but you about to say, oh, it ain't got nothing to do with age. I remember being 22, man, getting slammed, and like my roommate pissing on himself and me getting up every hour to go urinating in the bathroom. Excuse me, but I'm being honest. I have to tell the way, going to use the bathroom. Okay, I ain't have to say all the, you know what I'm saying? But y'all know what I'm talking about. I know you know. The truth is a mofo, man, especially when it's put a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Your body will tell you. And sometimes, yes, getting a little older, as long as you're getting a little wiser in your body, you give energy. So when you say you're not going to do something and you go back and do it, your body is troubled because you're sending your body signals. You're sending it signals. So it's going to react to it because you don't stay the ground. It's like going to the gym. You go 7 days, usually you're hooked. But if you're a crackhead or something and you're going to the gym and crack is still on your menu, 7 days don't mean nothing. You're going to go about a couple of thousand 7 days over the next 7 years until you realize crack is beating you up. You haven't won. And you get what I'm saying? And then when you do get 7 days, then you're going to realize your body's a little broke down because all them 8 years that you was cracking out trying to work out 7 days and get your groove back in, it doesn't work. You can't tell your body one signal, give it another, and think this is supposed to benefit this one. This is destroying this, and you're doing this to better yourself to get away from this. It's a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in a relationship where you have disdain, you're fighting, but you keep staying there because you have these little papers or these documents, or this says this or that says, no, fool. Nah, fool. No. And then you say, well, it's the monetary or it's this. And you create you're not resourceful. You become resilient, right? To the point of where you start supporting the lie and excluding yourself from the truth and the fact of what you need to do. You don't have to be hyper intelligent and super, to know these small things. There's a necessity, there's a need, there's a want, and just don't give a F. I don't want nothing. Well, what are you going to do with the necessity that you know there's because you have a need for it, right? You're going to have a drive that wants you to get to it, right? And just because you have that want, because you know it's a necessity that you need. What's the drive that's going to solidify? People are not making proper choices. Crack, gym, 7 days, fighting, smoking for 7 days and up, not eating. I'm just saying, y'all think everything ties into it. You know what I'm saying? Going to the doctors, and a lot of them out there with bad intentions because they're partaking in something they shouldn't. The government thinks they're leaders when they're not. You are the ones that tell them what to do, but they are put in a position because of the agenda, because you're not paying attention. When Biden's talking about signing over to the WHO as if Biden can do that when Biden is not even your president because he's a lie. But because you assimilate with the lies out there, the narrative paints a lie of a broad picture instead of the truth. And so now you accommodate yourself with that as if it's supposed to be something because you're watching these idiots who are fearful and scared when I'm telling you all you had to do was this. And now you keep yourself in the same position in a dire place because you don't want to listen. You have choices, and though I've been saying this for a long time now, right? You have not been making the proper choice. Keep smoking crack and going to the gym. Let's see how it works out for you. Let me read a little bit of the Book of Wisdom to you, okay? By Joseph or Arimathea. Transliteration by Desert Owl. I'm going to tell y'all something about the owl. Nah, you're going to have to wait until you hear the story. I've shared about the eagle. I've shared about the crow. I've shared about the relationship between a wolf. I shared the fact that you have the alpha and sigmas, but you, my brothers and sisters, are beyond that. You're masculine and feminine, but you're more than that. You're sentient. Now do you see the reverse osmosis? They played to get you into being a human. something of mankind, kind of like, sort of not, but is, but ain't. When it's about our sacred written record, if man would like to know the great mystery of life, if man would, this doesn't exclude the woman, this is one and the same. If man, or we can say mammon, if man would like to know the great mystery of life and all of the secret wonders of nature, there's no secret wonders of nature, then he must climb that tall mountain of the many tears from within this darkest valley of the dead who are walking. You got to climb up out the abyss, people. You got to stop moving with the same herds of the dead because they have a job, money. I prove that even though y'all got fiat, you're too stingy to even donate $1 or $2 to buy books. And I sit here saying to myself, do I have to be Hollywood music? Do I have to live in your neighborhood for you to see and know me? No, it's always a test. It's always a test. And be mindful of when you speak and when you say things. No, these are simple things. These are not complicated. You're complicit in your own destruction because that's what they grafted you. They grafted you to take energy away from yourself and give it to things that are meaningless. And y'all pursue it. So continue to smoke the crack and go to the gym 7 days for another 7 or 8 years. But let me go on. Now, if you want to know where that's from the book of Britannia. A meditation on ethics and law. The only way a man can become fully, now this is not me, just pay attention and take from it what you may. The only way a man can become fully awakened spiritually is to know his own true nature. Do you know what it is? I was going to do the live yesterday, right? And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. That's the better, because somebody said, what happened to the live? You've been saying that. It's called making choices. I chose not to do it. Did I do it? You know, people don't know how to think for themselves, and yet they want to think it's like a false sense of belief without knowing that they control the narrative outside of themselves. No control whatsoever. If you said you were going live and you didn't, I'd be like, okay. In my head, when they go live, then I'll be there. It's no more, no less. No give and no take. No false pressure. There's no growth there. That's a false sense of control, isn't it? Again, the only way a man can become fully awakened, per se, spiritually, is to know his own true nature. Now, you know, I don't believe in awaken, nor the word spiritual. I say that because I know those are not factual. But we relegate ourselves to them because of the words or the terms that have been leveled at you and you've been nurtured. And so we will utilize it to give an energy that doesn't placate, but gives meaning to your existence. And then to strive for communication with the source, our spiritual realm. This can best be achieved, not the answer, by meditation or perhaps mind-focusing expressions or expressions is better. That's why I'm saying you have power in thought. It's not so much your delivery, just don't be so arrogant and ignorant, but in thought, and it's energy. So if you're thinking negative, if you're always down on yourself, using words like depression and all that, what are you feeding? And what's the resort? What's the outcome? What's the result of all that? Now, this is a state of conscious awareness for all of the potentialities that are found within our existence. The ability to cut off all material disturbances and to bring the etheric spirit. Do you know what etheric means? I hope so. That's cultism, but it's a good place to start. Etheric spirit into harmonious relationship with the higher, the most high, your higher existence, the connection back to the source. The creator of creation has always been with you and in you. It is you, I and I. As above, not so below. As above, as below. It's a direct correlation, not fundamentally speaking, not an abstract or a narrative as if you're doing some surrealism, but a factuality. More compatible realm of light means gaining the complete mastery over all material impulses, urges, and desire. Again, let me read that again. More compatible realm of light means more compatible realm of light means the complete mastery over all material impulses, urges, and desires. That means that blueprint, the light fluctuation, the on and off switch, the switch is on. There is conducive current, and it is running at a regulatory output, something that is, we say, on a natural harmonic balance, a frequency that is meant. So there's direction. There's nobody flipping it off. There's no interference, no brokenness. You know, that little squiggly saying that the connection is broke, as if you would see on a blueprint or something like that. So you have fluidity. You have, and how do you bring that in? It's in you. And it's in everybody when they culminate and come together. Instead of being separate. Because you cannot have on and off switch and then nothing. Isn't there usually a box or something over here? Who's to say that the box is not a room of more people and there's more people on this side? And this right here is the connectivity, or the continuity, the continuation of that very thing that right now we're dealing with interference, broken wires, and it's people with on and off switch who keep manipulating everybody. So it's paramount and indicative that you start giving, how do they speak? Oh, these so-called woke people say speak truth to power. Oh, giving yourself meaning and being meaningful and giving of self instead of continuing to be this perverse nature of existence and walking in the lie and accepting every narrative. You don't have to accept. You don't have to accept what I'm saying. Not at all. Okay? You don't have to accept anything. You have choices. What are the two most powerful weapons? If you legitimately utilize them, even in a short time and patience. Short, wouldn't that be I'm short because I have no patience? And time, which is elusive. No man should follow no man. Everyone should walk together. Now, there are things in this book, because it's steeped in cultism a little bit. Wisdom is not always a derivative of harmony. When we get into feng shui, we get into I Ching, we get into all these different things outside of ourselves. Art of war, Sun Tzu. We start to see things and we realize that they have been perverted because they're not talking about life, happiness, and the pursuit of it. Everything is about the Machiavelli, the destruction, or the false renaissance of existence. These are the new age things that have been conscripted off of things that existed before. Harmony and balance should always be the pursuit. And yet no one's pursuing it. Y'all are still smoking crack and at the gym. Make it make sense. I want to read a lot more in this book, but I had more to say, and that's why I came on. And I will get to this book and read everything to you, and slowly, just chapters a little bit by little bit. You can purchase the book yourself as well. And you can read along, and we can interpret different breakdowns. I think is beneficial. They say more heads, and at this time and age, I think all heads are better than one. Whew, for real. Okay? Let me shout y'all out, and I appreciate everybody coming in. I'm going to sit back because I'm going to start sipping on my lavender. massage, yoga studio people's honey. It's so good. It is so good. Today's a little carb day, but not bad carb. And lemon. Okay. Like I said, 2 o'clock. That'll be before I eat my pineapple and goji. I got it out here to go. It was been in the fridge for about an hour and a half. I made it first thing when I got up before I went outside and grounded this morning. This AM, and it's still reconstituting. So it's got to 2 o'clock. All right. So I have that book, but a small print, and I ordered the. Hey, baby girl, Swat. I'm gonna shout everybody out. Daniel. Hey, what's going on, beloved? How y'all doing? Tariq Peters, Delusions, Indigo Turtle. I love mushroom coffee. Saw you drinking it and had to try it. One of the best. It is a very good one. I saw that you got those. I have that too. And I have mud water. I remember I got a bad one and I went off on them. They want to, this is what they do. Well, we'll send you some what you call so you can, man, you keep that crap. Stop messing with stuff. That's what I say to them. If you were going to Joe Rogan's show. Nah, he's too smart for himself. I like him, but he's too smart. Max B, what's going on, beloved? Don't forget us, Sue says. Oh, yeah, man. No, don't you forget. Yeah, just better yourself at it. Marcus Williams, what's up, beloved? Nobody's left out. We all stand together or we stand divided and separated. That's the mentality. We got to put that away. That's my, mi amor. Red and blonde hair is Mikhail the sex kitten program. Yes, it definitely is. Yes, it is, baby. Big Pontiac came in the house. I didn't see where he's at. Well, y'all popped up. Brown stated to call. Cam, I'm not giving you $10,000 answer and you paying me. Exactly. Great way of interpreting it. You know what I'm saying? Big Pontiac, what's up, beloved? What's happening? What's happening, man? Just checking out your last couple of videos, man. You be going on late at night. I'll go to sleep now, man. I'll be in the bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock, sometime 9. I take a nap, and because I manifested it when I started changing direction, and I realized arising at 3, 4, and 5 was better. And when everything is moving different, going back to the old, I reinstituted things that were beneficial. And taking a nap at 7:45 minutes, crashing out at 9 is just benevolent. It is so magnificent. It really, really is. Trick Peters, I got you, beloved. What's happening? Oh, Matt, what's going on, beloved? Original Lone Wolf, what's cracking? What's going on, beloved? What's happening? What's happening? Anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I really do. And let me go ahead and shut it down. I chatted with the people this morning because the last videos has been about just reading and talking without a whole lot of craziness and stuff, because you know that's me acting. And I was like, y'all doing this? And like I said, there's numerous channels that have been saying this has been going on. And it's just part of the, I'm not giving no energy. I just says, y'all need to chill out with me, man. Stop that nonsense, man. I'm uploading stuff and y'all putting that little go. Somebody ain't watching nothing, or they're sitting here watching and they feel some kind of way. I don't support nobody's goofy war. Well, I can. Anyway, I don't support no retarded war, especially when we need balance. And I don't like seeing the children have to suffer at the hands of the misguided and unfortunately stupid individuals in the world, easily manipulated in the lives they live. Oh, no, that's going to end. It doesn't matter what they continue to do. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I really don't have no cares like that anymore, but it's just what it is. And I said, so y'all can stop that. And I was hospitable with the AR, the individual. And I don't care. And I told them, I don't care what the fake Jews feel. Think I give a smack about their feelings? Watching now, and I know it's little alphabet monkeys. You're not sitting there keeping me at the threshold, denying what has happened, this, that, and the other. It's not like I need you anyway, but the perversion of it is funny because they got all information. They have the information I've given them with purpose. This is how I know, and this is why I pay attention. That stuff, if you were here, you would know. When Ganja and them come next week, they'll know. I'll show them and they'll be like, dude, and see, and nobody will think of it. It's not complicated. It's easy to fish when you don't have to fish. And people in New York, I used to go out to Puget Sound with all my little Mexican brothers, Ecuadorian, Cuban, and whatever, and my brothers and sisters. Every time I went out there, they're like, how does James come back with 5 bags of angel and bass? And how does he get all them fish? Like triple what everybody else does. It says I'm a fisher of men, but the men don't know how to fish. So how can, if they know how to fish beside me, I'll catch all the fish. And so what I do is I give all the fish out. My sister who's in Bahamas and a few others, people who stay with me, will tell you, I used to keep my fridge stocked with my freezer stocked with fish, cleaning the fish, giving it to everybody there and not eating it. Where is he getting all this fish? And everybody that was with me saying, no, man, something's not right. How is every time you put your rods in, you're pulling the fish out? I says, why is it every time you put yours in, you're not? I said, the fish belong in the ocean. You belong over the ocean. So I kept giving them the fishes. And that's all I'm going to say to that. Anyway, I appreciate it. Y'all know the Cash App. If you want to donate, whatever. It's the first day of the week. First day of the week. I don't even like that term. Near the end of the so-called month. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all here at 12 o'clock. So we can read 100 Years Lynching, Negro Project, and Will Cooper. And then 5, you know, we got to get into it. Exposing the Exposition of Adam Mikowski and Heaven Bears, book 2 of 3. Woo, that's so cool. Yes, I read a little more. But anyway, I'll take these shoes off. I appreciate y'all. I love sisters and my brothers. I hope you got some information that was worthwhile. I hope it's beneficial. And I'll see y'all at 12. Okay.